Good. Now,
Okay, hold on, let me make him a guest. Hold on, let me make him. Hold on.
okay,
Admit. Hold on. And make him a co-host, right?
correct.
Okay, hold on. He's
Is
joining.
it okay? Is it Damien Power? Okay, good.
And I am going, I lost him. Hold on.
It should be on where it says joined.
Okay, I'm going to make a co-host.
There you go.
Okay.
Now, right
Hey,
there
good evening.
in the same participants list, Michelle, you
Okay.
should have to click the three dots and locate the enable waiting room option. Do you see that?
I'll click it.
You just click it to disable it. As
Okay.
soon as you disable it, you will have to go and click admit all. As soon as you click admit all, everyone will start joining in.
Okay, where do I click admit all?
Where it says waiting room.
No, I think everyone's in here.
They're starting to join in, so you can start.
Okay, is everyone admitted?
Yep.
Okay. Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight. I know we're eager to start and get ready, but we're going to wait a few more minutes for everyone to join. If you want to say hi and ask any questions ahead of time, feel free to use the chat. I'm here to talk. I'm here to interact with you. This is about you, not me. So I can't wait to get to know you. I see people's faces. If you don't want to be on camera, you don't have to. But like I said, I like to see you. You can see me. That way we can make this interactive versus just talking to a computer screen. So while we're waiting, we have a few more minutes. Tell me, where do you want to buy a house? Where do you want to live in Houston? Do you want to go back to your stomping grounds? I just recently moved back to my stomping grounds where I went to school, so my kids can go to the same high school. Let me know in the chat. Few more minutes. I see Olivia. I'm going to butcher some of these names here. I see Olivia. Hi, Olivia. Hi, Nasser. Hi, Faith. I see all these names. I see some iPhone users out there. I'm personally a Samsung girl. So I see a Beverly, Clarence, Kiki. Give us a few more minutes and we'll get going. I see you, Lucy. Okay, you're looking to go to the Kingwood or Manville area. Is that where you're from, or is that just the areas you like? They're on two total different sides of town. One is towards the coast and one is towards the forest. I see a Spring, Texas person. I just moved back to Spring from Cyprus this past summer. I know Damien, our lender who's joining us with us, he's out in Sealy. He's out in the country.
Yep, out in the boonies. But it's exploding out here. It's a 6,000 person town right now. They're expecting 5,000 to 6,000 more homes in the next 3 years. So no longer the country, that's for sure.
So a few more minutes. I'm going to give them one more minute and then we're going to get started. So I don't waste your time. So we have to be respectful of everyone. Okay, so hold on. Let's see. Live in Atascocita, but from the Pearland, or I love the schools, but long term you're open to going anywhere. Someone's looking to go to Sugarland. Everyone has reasons where they want to go. Every part of town has perks. Everyone has reasons. I moved back to be closer to my parents. I like that second extra set of hands having my parents help me with my kids. It's my saving grace. Okay, we're ready to get started so I don't waste your time. So now we know where we're gonna do, where y'all wanna move, a few of you. I'm gonna tell you, like I said earlier, we're gonna focus a lot about making you feel like this is about you in the driver's seat on this home purchase by you telling me what you wanna know. Just so you know, at the end, I'm gonna circle back to your questions. So if you think of something you wanna ask, put it in the chat and I'll come back to it. I have a lender here. I'm not a lender. That's what he's here. He's here to answer your questions. So just wanted you to know, while we're on the subject, I just want to say thank you for spending your time with us this evening and investing in yourself. When our hour is over, I want you to feel prepared to make the most important decision of your life, which is going to be purchasing your first home. Whether you had one years ago and you're doing it again, this is one of the biggest decisions you will make in your life. And again, I'm going to reintroduce myself. My name is Michelle Brecker, and I'm eager to share the best tactical, practical, nitty-gritty pieces of advice about buying a home for you in the greater Houston area. I've done this for over 15 years and I love what I do. I get excited talking about it. So if I need to back down or slow down, say, hey lady, slow down, and I will slow down and talk slower. Just so you know, some of you have found the chat feature. If you go, it's on the side of your computer. Feel free to ask questions, raise hands, emojis, all that fun stuff. If you ask it and I don't answer it right away, I will circle back around. If it's a personal question saying, hey, this is my personal situation, I don't want to blurt it out, everyone, feel free to book a one-on-one consultation with me. Reach out. My cell phone will be out a little later. This way, we're here to help. I don't bite. I don't ask questions. I don't judge. This is all about you and helping your goals. Everyone's goals are different, and that's what we're here to make happen. So like I said, we're going to knock out this webinar. If I go too quick, you have some questions, tell me to slow down and I've got you covered. Like I said, I've titled this webinar, How to Avoid These Costly Mistakes, because we shouldn't have to relive them together. I am a homeowner. I am a numerous homeowner. I have made the mistakes back 18 years ago when I first bought my first home. And hopefully you don't make the same mistakes I do. So basically, this is how not to screw up. I know people are worried about money, spending money, buying new things. How do people mess this up? FYI, there's way too much information about buying a home that can be squeezed into this webinar, but I'm going to do my best to get through it. So hopefully you have some information as to where we can start and where we can grow from. So like I said, I want this to be interactive, camera off or on, it's your choice. Find the chat box, say hi, raise your hand. I can see you. Stack up those questions for me at the end and we'll go from there. Again, this is a Zoom, so I like to see you. You can see me, but feel free to have your camera on either way. Like I said, this is about you. Everyone has their individual questions. What type of programs I qualify? How do I create a plan to purchase my home? My team, Argy, my admin, is in here. She's going to post a link for you. That link is to my schedule. If my times don't work and you need something else, shoot us a message. We can make times work. I just try to keep my evenings and my mornings free for stuff that I do for myself and my kids, but I do show houses in the evening. I have no problem meeting with you. It's all about what works for you and we can make it happen. If you like something, react, raise your hand, send emojis. The more you interact, the more feedback I get, so I know to keep going. So how are you feeling? Are you concerned, stressed, intimidated, anxious, uncertain? Like, what am I getting into? The home buying process can be all of them. Don't worry, everyone feels the same, but our goal is to help you get through it. As a professional, our job is to walk you through it, help you explain it so you are successful. So again, our goal tonight is we want you to feel in control and at ease about this process. It's scary, but the goal is to make it not scary. So like I said, I am a home buyer. I bought my first home. I am a realtor. I was a home buyer before I was a realtor. I wish I knew what I knew now then, and I wouldn't have done what I did. It's a time where your emotions and your level of stress are going to go up, from not sure what's going to happen next to, am I doing the right thing? Stressing about the money, stressing about what's going to happen. Don't worry, my goal is to give you some feedback now as to what's going to happen, so the unknowns are taken out of the situation. Make sure you have something to write with or take notes. So if you have something, thought process, we can come back to it later. So we are going to get started. So if in the end we could say, if you stay till the end, I have $1,000 offer for you. It'll help you towards your goal. Either way, whether it's now or in a year, it's still on the table as long as you stay to the end. Don't forget, like I said, we're going to put it up here throughout the night. My link to book my one-on-one session. It's my calendar. It goes directly to me. You're not going to get someone else. You're going to get me personally to meet with you. I will call you if you feel better on the phone, Zoom, face-to-face. Either way, we'll talk for a few minutes. We'll figure out what works for you, and we'll go from there to get you on. So here's me. You can see me. That's me a little bit more dazzled up than this. To give you a little bit of a thing, I sell several hundred homes a year. I sell all over Texas. I also do land. I've been a realtor since 2010. I started working with first-time home buyers that were in the same shoes you're wearing now, and I've transitioned over the year to being a broker and owning real estate brokerages. I run a one-man team. I do have realtors that work for me. I run a one-man team with a full-time admin. She's here, Argie's here. She does a lot of my back-end work so I can stay face-to-face front with my clients. I am most rewarding in my career is working with first-time home buyers. The one that calls me and says, everyone tells me I can't own a home. Guess what? You just lit a fire under me, and we're going to get you into that home so you can tell everyone, look what I just did. I bought my first home. Buying a home doesn't have to be a mansion. It can be a small 2-bedroom, 1-bath home. A home is wherever you make it, and everyone's home is something different. So here we go. This is a little bit about me to get personal on a level. I am the mother of twins. I have 2 boys, Bryson and Dylan. They are my why. They are why I'm a real estate broker and why I do what I do. I am a local girl, like I said. I was born in Houston, Texas. I went to Klein schools and I graduated from Klein High School, and I am back. My kids will be 9th graders at Klein High School. Ooh, it's bringing back the memories. I relocated back here about a year ago to be near my parents. So to give you a little bit more about my background, I'm a Houstonian. I am a twin mom. I have a husband of 15 plus years. I am a dog person. I have 4 dogs with a 5th coming on the way. I am a foster child advocate through the school system. I play parent to foster kids who need someone to advocate for them in their school. I've been in real estate for 15 plus years. I am a Fighting Texas Aggie class of 2005. And my big give is community awareness for OCD and mental health. I'm the mother of a child that suffers from severe OCD. I am a huge advocate for him and others that have mental health issues. It is something that people would never know if they met my child unless we're having an off day. So I do what I do so I can help others and give back to my kids so he can get where he deserves. So here's a little bit about me, not gonna brag. I have great reviews. I have bad reviews. Not everyone likes me. Not everyone likes my personality, but I love what I do. And I do it because I want to help. So you could go online, find reviews, good, bad, indifferent. They're out there, just to be honest. To give you a little bit more about me, Damian Powers is here. I'm pointing to him on my computer. He is a lender. He is a great partner. He is here to help. When you go to purchase a house, it is not a single person affair. I don't do lending. I don't walk in that road. You could say, what kind of loan is best for me? And you know what I'm going to say? We have down payment programs, but guess what? It's not my railroad. So I sell a house, I negotiate your deal, I get you to a closing table, and I turn it over to my lender partner to get your loan done. They deal with the money aspect, I deal with the house aspect. My side is funner than his, but everyone enjoys their other. My other is Argie. She is my amazing assistant. She does all my paperwork, keeps me organized, because that's where I can't do this and that and everything at the same time. So now we're going to get to the fun stuff now that you know a little bit about who I am. So here's what I have lined up for you. We're going to go over what buyers screw up most. This is where you're going to save yourself, or you're going to say, oh my goodness, I didn't even think about that. So first time mistakes. Based on the 15 years of doing this, I can tell you that 90% of first time home buyers end up in the wrong house or the wrong deal. That was me. I bought a money pit. I decided that I didn't want to listen to anyone, and I bought a foreclosure, and it had holes in the ceiling, and it needed a roof, and it needed a lot of things, and I didn't have lights that worked. So I get it. Been there, done that. Won't let you make the same mistake. Our job is to help you see around the corners so you are the most well-prepared home buyers in the state of Texas. So the next one is they don't take advantage of first-time homebuyer programs. They are out there. Not everyone knows about them. Do they fit all boxes? No, but they are definitely out there for you. So before I forget, just like I said, here is my cell phone number. I have my cell phone number on here. I have my office number and I have my email address. This does go, my cell phone does go to me directly. I am going to give you a disclaimer. If I don't answer, I'm on the phone. I will call you back. But this is my personal number. My office number goes to my amazing admin and she answers it and will get me to call you back shortly. But here's my contact number. Take a picture, write it down. It's public information. Feel free to use it. Okay, so now we're going to ask some questions. Raise your hand if you like the idea of saving thousands, tens of thousands, and not leaving money on the table. I think I should see everyone's hands going up at this point. So here we go. We're gonna keep moving. So just a reminder, I know time is a ticking. Here is my link one more time for my booking link. If you have questions, want to know more, don't forget, book it before the end of today. So, okay, now we're gonna get to the fun stuff. What is a first-time homebuyer program? I'm gonna go a little bit further and then I'm gonna turn it over to Damien after this, and then he's gonna do some, and then it's gonna come back to me. So a first-time homebuyer program, it's specific to location. So it might not be the same for you in wanting to live in Sugar Land for someone wanting to live in Kingwood. Area specific, city specific, the various programs are on it. The next one is it depends upon your income. Some programs are income driven, some are career driven. Everything is different. Another one may require you to hang on to your home for a few years. Some might have interest rates that are better than others, and some might let you finance your whole loan. Everyone is different, so you can't say, here's our box, everyone fits in it, because that's not how it necessarily is going to work. So here's a few more, and then I'm going to turn it over to him so he can do the nitty-gritty fun stuff. So some are grants, some are loans, some are based upon jobs. First responders have programs, teachers have programs. It just depends upon what you're doing. Some exist because banks did not follow laws back then, and they are now forced to give back based upon certain demographics. So some programs are through them, some programs are through the city, some are through the county, some are through the government. Everyone is different. Some give you tax credits at the end of the year, and others you can put on top of each other, but everyone is different. So I'm going to turn it over to Damien. He's going to take over some lending situations, and hopefully you'll have some questions for him.
Okay, thank you, Michelle. Appreciate the opportunity to be here and talking to you guys. Just a quick intro about me. My name is Damien Power. I am branch manager and producing loan officer with a mortgage broker called Motto Mortgage First Choice. I can go into what mortgage brokers do, but that could be a whole webinar. So we won't waste time on that. But just to say that I'm the intermediary between you and a bunch of lenders. We'll leave it at that. So I do all the heavy lifting for you. So let's jump into first-time home buyers. There are a whole bunch of different options, as Michelle said, whether it's a federal, state, local. But what I'd like to do is just jump into just a couple that I do personally. That will give you an overlook of what is out there. So I've got two lenders that offer great down payment assistance programs. Both of them will give you up to 3.5% of the down payment for an FHA loan. That's the minimum that you normally put down on an FHA. So they will help you with the down payment. You would have to bring your closing costs from somewhere else. Right now, the market's what I like to say is a buyer's market, and they're offering possible concessions. I'm not saying that happens on every single loan or every single deal, but there's a lot of homes that are actually dropping their house price. So you can go back and say, instead of dropping the house price, can I have that amount of money and help me towards our closing costs? So in theory, you could get into a home with very little money down or even zero out of pocket. So this would be awesome. But it, as Michelle said, it depends on your situation, depends on the loan type that we do. But you know, we want to look at your situation. We can work through it. It's not rushed. We take our time and make sure what is right for you. So let's just look at the first one here. So this is a forgivable down payment. They will give you the 3.5% and you're done. You don't have to worry about paying it back. There's no grant, there's no second lien. The offset of that is that the rate is slightly higher than the FHA market rate at 7.75. It's set, there's no change in it. We can't buy it down, we can't do anything with it. And that's just how that lender makes their money back. But what the good thing is on this, after 12 months or 12 online on-time payments, you can do an FHA refi into the market rate if it's right for you at that time. I'm not going to force you to do that. If you get 7.75 and the rate at that time in 12 months is 7.5, I don't think that's worth it. If we look and say the rate is 6, then we'll do a refi. And it's very, very cheap. They transfer all the escrow payments and everything. I think you just have to pay small amount of title fees and they do everything for you. But that you have to wait a year for that before you can refi out of that, or you have to pay that the initial money back. So a year is nothing. You're not even really settled into your new home within a year. You're still painting and decorating and doing the yard. So but that first year flies by, trust me. The second one, they offer 3.5% down, but what they do is put that as a second lien. So you've got the FHA loan um, at market rate, which is low sixes more or less right now. So it's an awesome rate. But the second lien is 2% higher than the market rate you qualify for. So if it's 6.25, the second lien will be 8.25, and that's paid back over 10 years or until you sell the home. That works out between around about 50 to 80 bucks a month more on your payment, which is still less than the first loan we've talked about. So you're in a better position there. But most people stay in their home between 7 and 10 years, so that shouldn't be a problem. But as the years progress, you owe less, just like a regular loan. So if you do sell it before that 10 years, you just pay off the balance. You don't pay off the entire 3.5% down payment. So both of these are great options. The first one is a grant. The second one is a loan given by that company. So this is just a starting point for you guys to think about. The first one starts at a 580 credit score. That's the minimum credit score for an FHA with 3.5% down. The second one, you need a 620 credit score. So even then, if you're kind of between that 580 and 620, we're happy to look at the credit situation you're in and try and bump you up if you need to. And all of these, you can buy a single family home, you can buy a duplex. I think the first one, you can also use the renovation loan. So you can get more money to reno the home you're buying. So if you buy a home that needs some work, so it's undervalued, you can actually get more money to redo the home. And that puts you in an even better place. But we can do a deeper dive into that at a later time on the phone, depending on your situation. As it says below, not all applicants will qualify, and that's why we need to check your credit and profile, etc. But if it takes a year, if it takes 2 years, me and Michelle will be there the entire ride, and we'll make sure that it works for you. And it's not just me. I say I'm a branch manager because there's people under me. This is my team. I've got 6 great loan officers. They're all over Texas. 2 of them are fluent Spanish speakers, so you don't have to worry about that side. As you can say, I'm not from America, so I know English and I know American English. But we've got 2 there that deal with the Spanish folk all day long, so there's no problem there. These are all great. They've all been in the industry many, many years, so I fully trust every one of them. So if you don't like listening to an English guy, I can put you in touch with one of these guys. And then if you want to contact me, please scan my QR code there. That will just send you to a form that you can fill in. Just need your name, address. Your name, email address, and any questions you may have. And I will reach back out to you at a later date.
Okay, I'm back for a few minutes. I know you're tired of hearing my voice. I can get tired of hearing my own voice. So there are two big facts that not everyone's going to tell you. And the first one we're going to hit is big banks will steer you away from most first-time homebuyers programs because they lose money. Yes, lending money is a money-making business. And when they give you free money, it's not as lucrative for them. It's a give and a take situation. Their goal is what product are they going to make the most money off of versus what is best for my client. Our goal is to say what's best for my client. If it means putting you on an FHA product instead of a conventional product, putting you with a grant versus, paying it up payment, we're going to look at your situation and figure out what's best with you. Second is the seller's agents will tell their clients not to accept your offer if your pre-qualification letter is from big banks, and I can't blame them. So the biggest thing you need to understand is when you go in under contract to buy a house, we're on a timeline. So everything follows approximately a 30 to 45 day timeline. Every situation is different. We can go quicker, we can go slower. Every situation is different. Big banks are not personal. You are a number to them. You are not a person. When I call Wells Fargo, they don't go, "Oh, Michelle, how are the twins today?" Versus I call the lender and they're going to go, "Oh, Michelle, your boys had rugby this weekend. How did they do?" We're going to know you on a personal level. We're going to know what's going on in your world versus calling and they're going to say, "We were supposed to close on Friday." And they're going, "Oh, you're in line." Our goal is to make this happen. We understand that I know that I can tell you that this Friday I have somewhere to be. And on Saturday, guess what? A moving truck has to show up. A bank's not going to care. We're going to care. We're going to go fight for you. So here we go. I know you're gonna go, "Oh God, she's up here." My goal is to save you money. My goal is to ensure that you get the best deal possible with the least amount out of pocket. Right now, we have shifted to a buyer's market, which basically means we're gonna ask for the moon and we're gonna get it. I can't promise you that a seller is gonna pay all your closing costs, but you can bet we're gonna ask for it. We're gonna ask for everything, just like we're gonna give you everything. We're gonna leave it all on the table. So the number 2 buyer's mistake, but probably in the wrong order. Any guesses? Okay, so now we're going to go back to good old baking. You can always find me baking or cooking in my kitchen. A few years. So here we go. So if you tried making a cake from scratch instead of using a cake mix, you have to put everything in the right order. If you don't put everything in the right order and you just throw it in a bowl, your cake isn't going to be light and frothy. It's not going to be crummy. We're totally ignoring the instructions. Yeah, that's me. Have I made some cakes that turned out horrible and rocks? Yep. But our goal is to make the perfect cake, which basically means we need to do everything in the right order. Who has admitted, I'm going to admit it, that I've made the cake that has smashed, that has fallen, that has flopped. We're all going to admit that mistake. But my goal is, it's a cake, but is it looking like a cake? So our goal is to guide you through this home buying process in the right order. If it's not in the right order, things can hit the fan and it's just gonna crumble. So this is probably applies to some of you. It's okay if you don't want to admit it, but we all know it because I do it too. So we all stock Zillow. I still stock Zillow. I look at houses all day. They disqualify themselves from homes and neighborhoods that were actually obtainable. I can't do this. You don't know until you try. You get curious, you call on a few sale signs, give up. You walk into a builder model or 3. I love looking at new builds. Visit open houses, be the curious girl, curious guy, just seeing what's out there, but not trying to give a name and a telephone number. And finally, you get tired and just walk in, open house, and buy something. That's a bad deal. You just, okay, I'm gonna do it. So my goal is to prevent you from making this mistake. More than 90% of first-time home buyers wind up in the wrong house and the wrong deal. You might buy the right house, but in the wrong neighborhood. Doesn't matter if the house is perfect if you have neighbors that you can't live with. If you buy a house that you can't afford, you're not going to stay in the house. So the goal is to make sure everything lines up correctly. Okay, the next is you get sucked into the builder's marketing machine. I know everyone sees it. You see the big signs, you see the big, ooh, look, new neighborhood coming in. The goal is to protect you. The builder's sales office works for them. They don't work for you. So here we go. The problem with the builders, there's no one looking out for you. You walk into a builder unrepresented and they're going to do everything to create a deal that benefits them and not their job. They work for the builder, they don't work for you. When you buy a new home, your goal is you come in with a realtor like me. My goal is I have your interest at heart. I don't care what the builder says. My goal is to get money off that ticket price, get your closing costs paid, and get you some free appliances. That's my goal. So in this market, we play a walk-away game. So we don't like what they do, we walk out. Their goal is to get a house sold. The question is what are they going to do for you to get that house sold? So to give you some examples, you have the good-looking sales guy in the office, looks good, talks fast, drives a great-looking car. You drive up to a new home builder and you see those Mercedes in the driveway. That's not me, by the way. You know, he's worried about what bonuses he's going to make. Is he going to hit his 5 that he has to sell for the month? Is he going to make his quota? Is he concerned about getting you a deal? No. And then you're going to walk into the friendly sales lady. She can walk the talk. She's all about asking about your dogs. I am first person going to ask you if you have dogs because FYI, I'm a dog mom. And then you're signing a 50-page contract. You have no idea what you're buying. You have no idea what you're locking into, but guess what? She just sold a house and she's getting the commission. Does she know what you're buying? Not really. My goal is to help you ask the right questions so you know what you're getting. What insulation are you getting? Which lot are you getting? Which upgrades are you getting? So on and so forth. So one more time, I know time is a ticking. It's almost 7:30. Some people have to go, have kids going. Here is my link. It's HoustonHomeBuyerWorkshop.com-book. That goes directly to my calendar. And we're going to put it back up in the chat box for you so you can link it. If you have a question, ask. My goal is to help you. If you need something, let me know and we can answer it for you. Again, just so you can remember, ask questions, book it. Someone asked earlier, what's the basic criteria? I can tell you there's a basic criteria, but I can say, okay, you have to have a 580 credit score, but it's more than a 580 credit score. To qualify for a $200,000 house is 1 income and debt to income ratio. And to qualify for a $400,000 house, the person could have the same income. There's too many things for me to put it in a box to give you an answer. Okay, the next one is you're going to get intimidated by numbers. This business is a numbers business. It is a numbers game, as I call it. We're going to look at numbers. So if anyone has owned a house or have heard about Harris County and our wonderful property taxes. So to give you a reference point, your mortgage payment is composed of principal, interest, taxes, and insurance. And guess what? There are 4 different numbers and no 2 houses facts are going to be the same. So I could buy a $400,000 house and a $300,000 house and our taxes be the same thing. So your payment, you could afford more of a house because your taxes are cheaper versus in an area which your taxes are higher. So realize there's a lot of numbers. There's a lot of things that go into it. That's why professionals are here to help you answer questions, guide, say, oh, wait, this neighborhood has higher taxes than the one next door. Maybe we should go look next door. So here we're going to break it down one more time. No more confusion. What are your closing costs? This is the money that has to be paid when you go to the closing table to get your keys. The first section is from your title company, your lender, your rate buy down, your HOA fees. These are set from other parties. So when you find out, when you go to buy a house, we're going to give you some estimated numbers. They're all estimates. The next one is one-time funding fees. If you're a VA, so first and foremost, if you're a veteran, there are 0 down programs out there. They are phenomenal. Never let anyone tell you not to use your benefits. You earned them, you deserve them. They are amazing. 0 down home loans, let's go. And upfront more private mortgage insurance or public mortgage insurance for FHA loans. And the next is prepaids. So you are going to have an escrow account and you have to have insurance. It's all going to be shopped for you. So insurance is going to be prepaid and taxes, and that's what's going to make up your closing cost. So if you go towards the end of the year, your taxes and insurance amounts are going to be a little bit higher, but don't worry, the seller is going to have to give you a little bit of contribution towards that. Like I said, bad news, they're expensive. As our world has changed, costs have gone up, but it is still obtainable. But here comes the good news. Our goal is for someone else to pay for them. In our current market, we are asking sellers to pay, and sellers are allowed to pay, in some cases, up to 6% of your closing costs. In other percents, they're allowed to pay 3%. That can usually cover a good portion of them. So just remember, if I say, oh, where am I going to get this money from? There's different things. You can get gifts from parents. You can get gifts from siblings. You can use your retirement account. There are ways to get it. You know, if you say, oh, I only have $1,000 now, but in 6 months I can get 1,000, you know, another 2,000. We're not going anywhere. We're here to help. We can help you plan. If you need to look at your budget and say, okay, what can I do to cut back to make this happen? We're here to help. I am personally here to help you. My goal is everyone deserves a house to make into their own home and to set roots. So now I have turned the tables on you. I have your brains thinking. So my goal is what other obstacles do I have to overcome to get myself into a house? If there's a will, there's a way we're going to make this happen. And if it means we go hunting for houses that'll give you closing costs, we go hunting for houses that give you closing costs. So here we go. Now for the fun part. So we're going to pull back my brain and we're going to see how it works for a second. So it's all about your monthly payment. How much more of an expensive house can I afford and my payments be less expensive? This is where I was talking about how taxes and insurance can factor into it. So I don't know what your household budget is. That is a personal number that we will discuss and the lender will discuss. That's how we're going to decide what you can truly afford versus what you're comfortable spending in a month. It's our goal is for you to be house comfortable, not house poor. We want you to be able to go on vacations. We want you to be able to enjoy your house. We don't want you to be so poor that you can't afford to live. That's not what we want you to do. So just realize some people are going to look and say, oh, that home is barely out of my price range. Guess what? Let's see what we can do if we can make it work. Whether it's finding lower insurance, whether it's looking at what the taxes truly are, or is it asking the seller, hey, you've been on the market a while, can we get a price reduction? Our goal is to make it fit into your box, not my box, but your box. So like I said, the cost of property taxes, homeowners insurance, HOA fees are all over the place. And the payments might be similar for two homes, but they're literally on the opposite side of the street. So in Harris County and all counties in Texas, you can protest your property values. That's going to impact your taxes. So over the fun, nerdy stuff. So I'm going to be able to squeeze some more money out of your monthly budget by looking at, okay, this side of the neighborhood's tax rate is this side of the neighborhood's tax rate is that. We want to go over here because of tax rate. So here we go. I know that we can make you think going, oh goodness, what can I afford? So if you are starting to think of numbers, when you book a call with myself or Damien, have a monthly, but if you think you know what you can afford, feel free to tell us. That is what is going to get us rolling. I know that I can find a house for this number a month, this number a month. We want to know what you want. I don't want to say, oh, you only can buy a $500,000 house. To me, you buying a $500,000 house is the same as you saying, Michelle, I can only afford $150,000. Guess what? A house is a home. It's where you are at. So the next thing is I want y'all to hone in on this real quick. Credit reporting 101. The first one is do not go out putting your number and name on every single lender's website right now to get hard credit pulls. We want to talk to you before you go pull your credit. If Damien says, okay, we're ready for a credit pull, he will tell you. This is the thing. You can go off of the credit report you have and give us a basic, and we can tell you if we're ready to take a look at your credit or if we want to do something before we have it. Also, just so you realize, having credit pulls costs money. So realize we have things to do. We want to look at things before we get things going. So here's the next one. And I'm going to do this with my big wide eyes. Don't be a hero. If you have collections on your credit report, do not pay anything off. Do not open any credit lines until you talk to a lender. It can backfire at you. It can restack itself, and paying a credit collections can actually lower your credit score versus leaving it on there. So don't go saying, oh, I want to buy a house. Let me go clean up my credit. Let a professional look at it. Not all credit repair people are phenomenal. They can take something off temporarily, freeze, dispute. We can't buy a house with a disputed credit report. All disputes have to be taken off. So leave your credit report alone. Talk to the lender. They're going to tell you. If he wants you to pay off a $600 collection, he's going to tell you. If he wants you to pay $500 on a credit card, he's going to tell you. They have software that does simulations that tells you what you need to do. Okay, so here we go, back to home buying. Steps involved in buying a home in 30 days. So when you're done, you're gonna have approximately a list of the costs that you need to plan for. Sound good? You got your pens and paper ready? So I'm shocked you're not asking in the chat window yet, who's gonna talk about how much and when do I need it? So do I need my money on day one before I make an offer? No, but you're gonna need money. So let's go ahead and dive deep. So the first thing is how much does it cost to have the team get you in shape to buy a house? Great question. We don't cost you a thing right now, okay? We are here working for you. I am going to put you in a disclaimer because now we have new laws. In order for me to open up a door for you or take you anywhere, I have to have an agreement with you that says, Michelle Brecker and Pathway to Home Realty represents me as a buyer through this transaction. It is what the government has made us, and our governing agency has made us now do before I can meet with you and take you into a house. You can come into my office and we can talk numbers. We can go to coffee and I can explain this one-on-one. But for me to open a door, I have to have it signed. But it costs nothing to meet with me. Okay. Even if it takes us a year, guess what? We're not going anywhere. I've been in this 15 years. I'm nowhere near retirement age. Got another 30, 35 years to go before I think about retiring. So realize it doesn't cost a dime. If people out there that you're talking about saying, oh, for me to open a door, it costs $150. For me to run your credit report, it costs money. It doesn't cost a dime for us to go over everything. True fact, you will pay for your credit report in the long run. Okay, it's not free. Your loan is going to cost money. You're going to have to pay for things, but it's not now, it's coming. So in our market, sellers are still pretty much paying commission. It might look a little different. We have to ask for it. Sometimes it's not automatically offered, but it's still there. We don't get paid. I, as a realtor, don't get paid unless you get keys. You don't get keys, I don't get a paycheck. So whether it's a rental today and a house down the year, I'm here to help you. Nothing is too big, nothing is too small. I want to see the smile on your face. If you have kids, I want to see them go into the backyard and go, oh, I have a backyard and a swing set. To me, that brings joy to my eyes. So here we go. Now we're back. How much do we need? So up front, if we find a house and go, this is the one and our offer is accepted, our earnest money is commonly 1% of the sale price. We can negotiate it, but sellers like to see skin in the game. We can offer 500. Will they accept it? It depends upon the situation. The next thing we're going to do is our get out of jail free card. So we have something in Texas called an option fee. What it basically is it allows us to negotiate. So we're going to do an inspection on any home you purchase. That's another cost we'll talk about in a second, but we have solutions for that. So basically it gives us about 5 to 7, possibly 10 days to renegotiate. If we find that the AC of the house is bad or the roof is bad, we can ask for a reduction or we can ask for repairs. It's our term to say, okay, we're ripping open the books. Guess what? This sale price isn't what we're going to pay anymore. We're going to go ahead and lower it down based upon things. It gives us leverage over the seller. Just remember, the earnest money that you're putting down is 100% refundable based upon this inspection. Based upon if something happens and the house doesn't qualify for the loan, Your earnest money is 100% refundable, but the get out of jail free option period fee goes to the seller. We're paying them for their time. Okay, so now we need to make sure this deal has its legs and goes on first. So like I said, we're going to do a home and a pest inspection. Generally, these pest and home inspections are anywhere from $400 to $600. Some loans require different inspections, but basically you're looking at about $400 to $600. There are companies that allow that to be paid at closing, so your seller can pay for it in the long run. Honest answer, I have a solution for that, but we got to get to the end for that. A secondary inspection, if you buy a house with a pool, you might have a house that has a foundation problem. Depending upon what other systems you need could cost additional, but just so you know, we have a standard of we need a home inspection. If I buy a new house, do I need a home inspection? Yes, builders are not perfect, so we want to make sure we cover our bases for everyone. Okay, third, like I said, we're going to renegotiate the deal. We have 3 options based upon our home inspection. We can terminate it, get our earnest money back, go start over again. No qualms about it. Second, we can pick items for the seller to fix. Or third, we can ask for money. For example, if we have something wrong, but I want to fix it my way and not their way, we can say, hey, can you give me $500 to fix this? And I'll do it versus you fixing it. Not every seller likes that. Some would just rather do it themselves. Okay, then comes the worst part about your whole process of home buying. It's all going to go quiet. This is when the lender gets to work. So once we're out of our option period, Damien starts to work. He's going to ask for we're going to have to get an appraisal, and that has to be paid for up front. So that appraisal is going to make sure that the house is worth what you're buying. During this time, from the end of our home inspection to our closing date, you don't do anything crazy. You don't do anything stupid. I know personally, I'm a car person. My husband tells me every day, no, you're not going to buy yourself a new car. You have a car, it is just fine. You're not going to buy a new car. FYI, I really want a car, and my husband said no. So remember, this is not your time to go open up that credit card to go buy furniture for your new house or that Range Rover. That can kill your deal. Remember, even if we pull your credit day one when we're starting this process, the lender is going to pull your credit the day before we close, if not the morning of. So just remember, this $700 appraisal really starts what the bank is going for. So for example, if the house you're buying a house for $250,000 and the house only appraises at $245,000, guess what? We're going to go back to the seller and say, house isn't worth $250,000. We need to buy it at $245,000. Gives you a choice. They can reduce the price or you can get out and find a different house. A bank will not loan you more money than what your house is worth. Okay, and then guess what, baby? That house is yours. It's time to go to closing. You pay any down payment you have to pay, any closing costs, if not by the seller. And guess what? You get your keys. So if we're talking minimum numbers, we're going to guess there's about a $5,000 investment if you're using a grant, if the seller covers closing costs. Guess what? I have seen people get checks back at closing based upon the money that you put up front. If we have grants that cover it and closing costs cover everything and you gave earnest money, guess what? That's your money to come back. It's not the sellers, it's not mine, it's not Damien's, it's not the title companies. It's yours to come back. Our goal is to get you the best deal. So what if I need to put more cash down? Guess what? We're going to have those conversations. You're going to know exactly what's going on up front so you can know what to expect. Our goal is not to blindside you. We have state laws that protect you and federal laws that protect you. You will know 72 hours before closing exactly what your closing figures are or a max number. It's not like back when I bought my first house. I showed up to closing and they told me I needed $2,600 more than what I thought I did. Literally, I had to find money that I didn't have. That's not the case anymore. So we are here to help you. We are here to help you through the process. We're going to know. If you say, Michelle, I don't have the money right now, we're going to figure something out. So, okay. Number 5, they don't hire a gladiator. So you can tell I'm pretty pushy. I am not a salesperson. I am a fighter. I am a defender. I will go to bat for anyone and anything I feel is right. Just like I fight for my kids all the time. So problems don't fix themselves. You have to understand when you go into a real estate transaction, you have two people battling it out. Who's going to win? My client's going to win. So here we go. So what do people think a realtor does? Any person can pop a lock. My job is not just to show you houses. My job is to pick up the sword and fight for you, and also to shield you and protect you from harm. I am going to tell you, I am married to a general contractor. I see the nasty, I see the ugly, I see what you don't want to get into. Someone said, I was talking to someone earlier today, I'm not going to mention names. Oh, I heard it's great to buy a foreclosure. Do you know what a foreclosure is? A money pit. They don't fix things. You don't know what you're getting in. Sometimes you buy a house without electricity, without water. What could go wrong? Oh, turn on the water, water comes coming down the ceiling. So my goal is for us to find things that are hopefully going to prevent you from the downfall in the end. I don't want you to get into a house and then 2 days later buying a new AC. I don't want you to get into a house 5 days later, my washing machine overflowed, my entire house is flooded. You know, I don't want you to find a house that you found out after you closed was flooded by Harvey. My goal is to do the digging for you. You know, some people know that the area they want to move into is a flood zone. Well, okay, even if it's not required to have flood insurance, we're going to make sure you have it and make sure you can afford it. We're here to protect. I'm here to protect you. I'm here to fight for you. You know, if something goes wrong, that's my job. Your job is not to have to fight for yourself for survival. It's my job to put it on my shoulder and say, I got this taken care of. Whether it means me pulling out hat tricks out of my bag, that's my goal, is to make sure you're protected. Okay, so what is a gladiator? My goal is for your kids to go to a better school than you did. Don't take offense to that. My goal is to make the impossible possible. So it's working hard, it's digging, it's looking, it's asking questions. That's what I'm here for. I want you to build your equity faster and retire early, because we got you into the best neighborhood, basically by the hair on our chin. So some neighborhoods, houses value grow faster than others. My goal is for you to build equity in yourself versus paying someone else's equity. Next is, I want you to be a raving fan of mine. I want you to go everyone and say, look what Michelle did for me. My goal is not to brag upon myself. My goal is for you to be so excited about what I did for you to go refer your friends to me. So what do I do different? I make the impossible possible, and I make people believe. There is more inventory that's on the MLS. Not everything is shown. All new houses aren't shown. Houses hit the market before they show. My goal is to make sure you see everything first. If we don't see what's going on, guess what we're going to go do? We're going to go look for it. If we know a specific neighborhood that you want in and it's a specific size, we go send letters, we go door knock, we go find that house. Call in favors. You know, we're not open, but guess what? We're going to go see that house anyways. We're going to negotiate with difficult people. I'm going to be honest with you. Not all realtors are friends. Not everyone wants to work together, but we're going to do it, and we're going to get it done. Next is, we're going to beg listing agents and bribe builders. That's what we do. We ask, we beg, we plead, we try to work together and make a deal. That's our goal. The next is, we're going to analyze everything. Talk about caffeine. For the record, my poison is Dr. Pepper. I live off of it. It keeps me going. And next is, we're going to make sure we stay in your budget. My goal, like I said, is not to overbook your wallet. I want you to say, Michelle, I'm going on that cruise, because guess what? That's where I'm going to go. So is every tactic we're going to use work? No. Like I said, not all my magic tricks work in every situation, but we're going to try. And when it's over, our goal is for you to be in the house you want, whether it takes trick A or trick B. I'm going to work for you. So now we're coming to the end. So I'm hoping you have less concern, less stress, less intimidated, more knowing what's going on. And like you said, we're here to help. So your job, now where does it come back to you? Your job is to tell me what you really want. I want to know your hopes and your dreams. Is your dream to have a 2-story house with a backyard that has a neighborhood pool? Do you want to live in a ranch story house with a pool in your own backyard? I want to know what you want. It's not what I want you to have. It's what you want. And let us worry to make it happen. If I think that you have such high expectations that it's not going to work, I'm going to tell you, hey, I think we got to rein it in a little bit so we can get it done. So what's the right order? Now comes the fun part. So here we are. The first one is to pick who's going to represent you as a buyer. Figure out, I work with buyers all day long. I also work with sellers. My poor admin works with sellers all day long for me. She deals with my investors. She deals with my back end. She deals with the crazies. I deal with the fun stuff. I like face-to-face. I love meeting people and I love getting to know you. Next is we're going to explore all options. From creative financing, first-time homebuyer options with the local lender. The key is you want someone that if you need to meet face-to-face, they're going to be here to fight for you. It's not just a 1-800 telephone number calling into a call center. That's not how we work. Next, here we go. We're back to running numbers, running estimates on the if-only homes in neighborhoods. We want to make sure that these homes that we're going to see match your budget. There is no reason to go see homes that are $1,000 over your monthly budget. One, you're going to be heartbroken, and two, you're going to get discouraged. My goal is to make this a positive experience. Next, we're going to go visit builders and we're going to play the walk away game. If you decide to go to a new home builder and we don't like what we like, we just walk away. If you go to a house and we try to negotiate a deal and the deal doesn't work for us, we walk away. The biggest thing you have to understand is, yes, emotions are involved, but you also have to understand I have your best interest at heart. So that's what we're going to do. Next is we're going to negotiate hard for seller credits. That's what's going to keep your closing costs in your pocket, is having the seller pay for them. And next is the neighborhood. So I know personally that when you go into a neighborhood, you can judge if that neighborhood's for you. I have kids. I can tell you when I bought my current house, if I would have known that there were no teenagers around, guess what? Probably wouldn't have bought here, but I'm here now. So look, if I had young kids, I want to see kids playing in the neighborhood. If I want a house with people with walking trails, I want to see the walking trails. Make sure the neighborhood fits you, and then let's find the house in the neighborhood. Don't find the perfect house and go, oh God, this neighborhood isn't for me. The neighborhood can't change. We can always change colors, paints, countertops, all that fun stuff in your house. So one more time, I know the night's getting on. Some people came in late. Here again, here is my link. Remember, it's HoustonHomeBuyerWorkshop.com book. That's my calendar. Set an appointment. We'll figure it out. Doesn't work. Times don't work. Don't worry. Send a message. We'll get you hooked up. So here we go one more time. So now you've made it to the end. So here's what I'm going to offer you. We've got a few more minutes. I'm going to offer you up to $1,000 in closing cost. Here comes the kicker. You have inspections to pay. You have appraisals to pay. When we go to closing, I will credit you up to $1,000 in closing costs to cover it. Where you say, well, Michelle, what if the seller pays it? Guess what? Not all houses come with fridges. Not all houses come with washer and dryers. I am here for you. So I might not buy you that pretty $3,000 fridge, but I can contribute towards helping you get it. My goal is like I said, every situation is different. No, I cannot hand you $1,000 in cash. Legally, it is not allowed for me to hand you cash. Damien is listening. Can't do that. So here's what you need to understand. Any closing cost credit that I do give a buyer has to be disclosed on your closing cost statement. The lender wants to know where you're getting your money from. Can I give you it? Yes, but they need to know. If I'm buying you a fridge, that's a little separate thing, but anything else has to be disclosed. So just remember, everything we do is written. We don't do anything that's not written in this. Real estate is not a handshake world. Real estate is a contract template world. So just keep that in mind. So like I just said a minute ago, mistake number 3 is choosing the house over the neighborhood. So I'm going to talk new construction for a second, just so you know, the same floor plans are in neighborhoods all across the city. So don't just think that I can only have this floor plan if you like new construction. In neighborhood A, it's probably in neighborhood B too. Maybe a slightly different color, but it's still there. So the next thing is my favorite thing. Countertops that are in style today are going to be dated tomorrow. So if you remember, like 10 years ago, it was those brown and peach granite countertops. Mine are on the way out, by the way. So, and now it's the white and gray. White and gray might not be in 10 years, in a year or two. So just remember, those things can change. but you cannot necessarily change your neighborhood. So more importantly, when you go look at a house, we want to look at the neighborhood. We want to drive around before we start focusing on wall paint color, countertops, and so on and so forth. So what's really going to make me happy here? How easy is it to live here? How are the neighbors? What determines how much it's going to appreciate? Does the neighborhood have amenities? So on and so forth. So just remember, it's not all about the countertops. A few more things. I'm a shopper. I like grocery shopping. How close is the corner HEB so I can run to the grocery store at 5 o'clock and realize, hey, I got to feed my kids for dinner? Can my kids walk to school? Are buses provided? That's a big one. Sci-Fair is finally bringing them back, but can my kids walk to school? How close am I to work? Am I an hour and a half to work, or am I 20 minutes to work? Are our neighbors friendly? Can they pet sit for me while I'm gone? Hey, there's a police officer on my street. That adds a little safety and security. Think about who's your neighbor. Think about the cars in the driveway. Think about how do they do their yard. It's all going to affect you in the long run. So what do we do? Like I said, mentioning kids, even if you don't want or have kids, dig into the schools. That's going to impact your resale value. A lot of people base their purchases on schools. Not everyone does, but it is a factor. Appreciation for the potential of the location. So like Damien said earlier, Sealy is booming. Katy is almost hitting Sealy. By the time, once Katy is full, they have two choices. They can go south into Fort Bend County and hit Sugar Land, or they're going to hit Sealy. Look at Cypress. Cypress is hitting Hempstead and Waller now. Where is it going? That's going to cause your value to go up. For even if you even want to get more into it, knock on neighbors' doors. If you see someone outside, go talk to them. I'll be the first person to go ask the neighbors, what do their neighborhood do? You know, where I live, they have, right now they're doing kids bingo, ladies' night, family potlucks. They do all sorts of things. Is that something you want in your neighborhood? So the next thing you're going to do is when you search for first-time homebuyer mistakes, here's what's going to come up. You don't get qualified. Guess what? Not everyone gets qualified the first time around. That's okay. 2, they don't do an inspection. I don't have the $600 for the inspection. I'll just skip it. Big mistake. We want to know if your sewer line's good. We want to know if your AC is working. That AC can cost you $10,000. You want to be prepared. Second, they don't want to work for the realtor. Guess what? Don't work. I know what I'm doing. Great. As a realtor, I have emotion. I am not my own best client. If you ask my husband, I am my worst client. I have too much emotion involved in the situation to where I probably should walk away a lot, but I don't. So then they apply for credit before closing. Like I said, we're not going to go buy that Lowe's credit card. We're not going to go buy that Rooms to Go credit card, that Gallery Furniture credit card. Nothing can be done till after closing because it's going to impact your credit score. So now for the fun time. Does anyone have any questions? Put them in the chat. I'll go back through and see. Hold on, let me look. Hold on. Someone says, are we able to buy a house? Hold on, I'm trying to read it. While on a housing grant. So are you saying like, are you not going to get personal, but if you are using like Section 8 or a voucher program, yes, they are out there. Are they harder to qualify? Yes, but that's not going to impact you for purchasing a home. It's all about what you qualify for the bank. Yes, rural areas. We do have USDA loans. Damien knows more about them, but depending upon exactly where at, like if you go north of Conroe, there's a lot of USDA properties that start at like $198,000 that do 0 down. So you can get USDA further. I don't know if Sealy still qualifies or if it's a little bit out as it's populated the USDA zone. But remember that is income driven. And so like I'm gonna note on the income driven word. When you and I say income driven, it's not like food stamp numbers. Income driven in some situations could mean a family could make $100,000 and still qualify for assistance. Okay, where do we take the class? That's a good question. So that Nasser, that is in reference to a first-time home buyer class. There are different classes that apply to different programs. So when you say, okay, Damien says, okay, now, so this is the program we're gonna qualify for, they're gonna send you a specific link that has the class. It's basically a budgeting monetary class, home ownership class. They wanna make sure you understand the true cost of home ownership to where you're not gonna bite off more than you can chew. So the government's goal is not to put you, and these programs' goals is not to put you in a house that you can't afford. So that's in like a foreclosure. For an FHA loan, to give you some basics, you have to have AC, you have to have hot water, you have to have electricity, and you have to have a way to cook your food. My question to you is, if I don't have a way to cook my food, am I gonna pay for a new stove or am I gonna pay for my mortgage? I have to have a way to cook. Same with electricity. Have to have electricity. I'll take that money to fix my house versus my mortgage. They want to make sure you're taken care of. Okay, hold on. Saying I'm trying to get. Okay, someone talked about a credit card and a rebuilder account. So I'm going to go back to everyone's situation is different. I cannot say that everyone fits in the same box. So I know that I am going to tell you this. Don't go opening up a rebuilder credit card until we talk to you. So there are lenders and programs that use bills and rent to qualify you and build your credit if you have no credit. So don't go do anything crazy. That's the people don't understand. Like, oh, I know what to do. I know what to do. Just be patient. I mean, we can even talk to you tomorrow. I know tonight's already 8 o'clock, so tonight's off the chart. But just remember, everyone's situation is different. We can help you. If you say, what do I need to do? He can say, okay, I need you to open up a credit card. I need you to open an installment account. We can tell you what to do. We're also going to tell you that guess what? You're only going to go put one McDonald's meal on that credit card and let it cycle, and you're going to pay it off. We're going to tell you exactly what you can spend versus opening up a credit card and going and doing whatever. Okay, are there any more questions that I am missing? Or anyone else that has a question? Okay, if anyone has a question, wants to ask me a question verbally versus thinking, or if you have personal, let me know. Again, I'm going to give you my link one more time. So in case you need to book, we can get you taken care of. Like I said, give you my little rundown in case no one came in late. I'm Michelle. I'm a broker of over 15 years. I love what I do. I am passionate. You could probably tell I get a little excited. Passionate about people, helping them become home buyers. If buying a home isn't for you right now and it's renting, don't hesitate to book a call. I have no problem going and helping you get into a rental house and making a year-long plan for you. Remember, it's not a necessarily, I buy a house today, I move in. It takes time. And, some people are on a 2-year plan. Hey, I had I'm going to mention the big nasty word. I got divorced. I have to rebuild. Guess what? You're not the only person in those shoes, and we're not going to judge you. Our goal is for you to get where you want to be on your terms. Not everyone is quick. Someone might say, let's get me pre-qualified today and let me go look at houses on Saturday. Guess what? I'm all there. But if that's not where you are, we're going to meet you where you are. So just before I sign off, if anyone has any questions, feel free to ask. Also, like I said, we're going to do one more time. My cell phone number is 281-877-2938. I'm going to put it in the chat for y'all. Feel free to call me. Feel free to text me. I am a total texter. I am here to help. Thank you for showing up and answering questions. I hopefully will be meeting with you some shortly. Like I said, want to watch this again, we'll have a replay, but I'm glad y'all all came here to learn, and hopefully we can make you a homeowners. And have a great evening.
All right, thank you, everyone. Yep, please reach out to me as well. I can answer any and all home loan questions for you.
Okay, I'm going to sign off. I'm going to go play mom to my kids, but if you have any questions, we're here to help. Thanks, everyone.